Welcome back to a series so smelly. Even iDub subscribed. In today's video, local lobotomy patient iDubbbz has now declared that he wants to be seen as the white Hasan? You can't make that shit up, bruh. He's now claiming he's been holding back this entire time and he doesn't want to go nuclear on Ethan. Watch out, guys. iDubbbz is gonna drop the N-word again. Ethan is exposing more clips of Stinky iDubbbz and Anissa. He's calling iDubbbz a massive crybaby. iDubbbz is once again justifying his content cop with Hasan, saying that he believes in him. Then he explains why he called himself a stoic person and says that he just didn't want to offend the men in his audience. Anissa continues to insert herself in every situation. Ethan talks about if he'll ever forgive iDubbbz for what he did. Ethan is calling out Hasan for promoting TikTok conspiracies about him, and a bunch of more updates. Subscribe or you gotta inhale iDubbbz's stinky breath for 10 minutes straight. Congrats, you're unconscious. I tried to rob a bank, but I only escaped with $1. Any advice, Jellywig?
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin with iDubbbz declaring he wants to be the white Hasan. This might be the saddest thing a man has ever said. iDubbbz talks streaming schedule wants to be seen as the white Hasan.
I might do different times, so it could be like during the night or something. I still haven't figured that part out. Because I don't know if I want to be streaming when fucking Hasan's streaming. But I also might want to stream while Hasan's streaming because he deserves like a little competition. I think that's maybe a good idea. Especially if people see me as like the white Hasan.
Bro wants to be seen as the white Hasan. First off, Hasan is Schrodinger's Turk. White 99% of the time and totally white passing until he needs victim points and then suddenly he's brown or something. Literally makes no sense. Second off, iDubbbz, you are fucking irrelevant. You're not even white froggin', dude, like let alone Hasan. She probably has more motion than you. Nobody is calling you white Hasan other than Anissa when she fantasizes about him in the bedroom. And you watch from the corner, of course. Hasan is also never sharing his clout with you. He used you for the content cop when you had clout and then discarded you. You got played. Also, what kind of brainwashing has Hasan actually done to make iDubbbz so incredibly cucked to the point where he legitimately wants to be him? This is a full-grown man who is so incredibly insecure, he actually feels like he needs to be another entire person. The correct socially approved person in the whole woke squad. Also, he couldn't just say Hasan, he had to say the white Hasan, just to emphasize that Hasan is the famous brown guy, obviously. The famous brown guy that everybody knows him as, right? That one brown guy, obviously. Literally nobody thinks this guy's brown, come on. This is incredibly pathetic, and that is for iDubbbz's standards, which is already at rock bottom. People responded, she fricked Hasan, obviously referring to Anissa here. This is a theory that has been floating around for quite a while now, and it would explain a lot. I feel like it would actually explain a lot as to why iDubbbz is so obsessed with Hasan and his crew, right? The fact that he started live streaming the exact same time Anissa went back to Corn is so funny, or OnlyFans. They're literally broke and desperate for cash. They completely ruined their credibility, their cash cows, creator clash, and their mental health. Oh no, but they're actually winning. They're actually the happiest they've ever been, as they will tell you, obviously, on their hit podcast. Hasan is the white Hasan. I mean, pretty much. Bro, joining the leftist political space at the worst time possible in 10 years, what a donkey. There's like no problem even doing that if you want to, but associating yourself with people like Hasan is like the worst radical extremist. Like, if you want to go into politics, you know, do whatever. You're probably not qualified, but maybe don't support the terrorist supporting freak, you know? So then iDubbbz says that the content cop worked out well for him.
Clear. Oh wow, thank you, iDubbbz. Like we give a shit.
Oh my god, this hurts to hear. If you guys were listening to the point that right now they're referencing like an old clip, I think it was on the stream, where I basically said like, yeah, like I'm not like them. I'm not gonna fucking like try to ruin their lives or whatever. I think they see the content comp as me trying to ruin their lives. It genuinely wasn't that. I was just, you know, in a lot of ways defending myself after they sent harassment our way. But yeah, I'm not going to stoop to that level of like, paying people to come on the show and then have them proceed to talk shit about you guys. Like that is weird, creepy, obsessive behavior. Like we've been using the word creepy a lot. Like that is what it is. It's too creepy. I'm not going to go nuclear because going nuclear is creepy. It is like, I don't want to see you moving. Like, I want there to be no trace of you.
This guy has brain damage. iDubbbz, you could not go nuclear if you tried. Your best attempt was the content cop and it backfired. When you tried to respond to her videos, you got completely destroyed. This guy says, I was defending myself. You were literally trying to ruin their lives, justified the CPS calls, the human skulls, everything. You were absolutely trying to destroy them. You gathered all their biggest haters in one video. Holy shit, where did he learn this empathy? Also, this guy calling anybody creepy. Buddy, you're streaming from your basement, playing WoW, calling yourself the White Hasan. That's the creepiest fucking shit I've ever heard.
You already tried.
He can't.
You tried.
Go.
You make your content cup.
Oh, he
No, I didn't fucking try. I would be a lot more fucking evil. Like, I'm trying to avoid being evil, okay? I don't want to do what you guys are doing.
can't go nuclear.
How did content cup work out for you?
He doesn't even know what it means, bro.
It worked out fine. I was able to, express myself in a way that, I was used to expressing myself from the past, and it was about an issue that I cared about and that was deeply personal to me. So it did work out well for me, thanks.
Worked out well for me. This has got to be CTE. This is like legitimate brain damage. Buddy, you lost your career, your income, your fan base, your friends, everything. Is Anissa telling you this? That you won? Bro says, I want to avoid being evil. A bit late now, buddy. You took money from charity, didn't ya? Friends with Hasan and his squad, literal terrorist supporters. Then they talk about how unaffected they are.
I'm way more calm.
So I'm like, oh, I feel like I can talk to you about it because I don't have to be the strong one.
Yeah, I'm a lot more chill now. It's really hard to affect me. It's kind of shocking, actually, how hard it is to affect. Especially online stuff. It's like I don't care even remotely anymore.
Yeah, that's been a huge relief for me.
For the past year and a half.
But
I don't care, guys. I'm just losing my mind in my husband's stream chat, making up stories. I'm so unbothered. I just tweet 500 times. You've lost. Take the L. Log off the internet. So anyways, after this, people found another clip of Anissa talking about stinky iDubbbz here. And I just don't know why they record this. Are they on like a date or something? Is this supposed to be like their chill time? Why is Anissa pulled out the camera?
It's never beating the stinky breath allegations. The man has rancid breath. His wife is the one that told us on now multiple occasions, your breath stinks, you're disgusting, you never shower, you're a giant loser, you stink, you shit your pants, and you stream to 100 people. Literally, what do you have?
something like that.
1260?
No, it was like, it was 4K, a 4K thing. You smelling my breath?
No. Does it always?
From across the table. Bro's breath stinks from across the table. And by the way, he's insecure about it because apparently she keeps calling him out for it. So if I saw Hila going, I wouldn't immediately say, are you smelling my breath?
It seems like she was maybe smelling the room or the table. I don't know.
No.
And he was like, you smelling
She
my breath?
confirms
You
it.
smelling my breath?
No. Does it always smell like piss?
No,
Or did one of
it
the
doesn't smell
dogs
like piss.
pee?
They might have peed.
Doesn't it smell like piss?
I don't smell that.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
But it
She says his breath smells like dog piss. Hold on.
No, let me explain. She thinks she's smelling pee in the room from the dogs, which is possible.
Hold on.
Oh, does it
But
always
it's
smell like
funny
piss?
that he inserts, are you smelling my breath?
Also, who is recording this shit? Is that Anissa? Like, why does she keep doing this? Why is she always recording his embarrassing moments and trying to demean him? I mean, in this case, she said the room is smelly, and apparently she has called iDubbbz smelly so many times that iDubbbz assumed that she was calling his breath smelly because she usually says that. Bruh. I mean, iDubbbz, like, as a full-grown man, I feel like you need to brush your teeth, okay? And you also need some breath mints, okay? You need some ASAP. I know times are tough after the whole, internet drama. You're losing your career, losing everything, living in your basement. It's gonna be hard, but I think you can afford some breath mints, okay? Or at least some toothpaste. Maybe use some of that 34% you tuck, from the charity, of course. Anyways, apparently iDubbbz has continued crashing out on stream. Here he is calling out Ela, and everybody just starts laughing at him. Also, yes, I changed my shirt, guys. This is to make up for episode 100, where I basically trolled you guys with the jacket. Next shirt change is on episode 200. Don't count on it, okay?
It's not brutal, Ela.
Oh, Ela.
Uh-oh.
Here's a soundbite. Shut up, Ela.
Great.
Sounded like you didn't mean it.
You got that, Zach?
I did pull that, but I feel bad playing it. Like, I pulled
Yeah,
it.
you can't play that. Were you crazy?
No, that's
No,
dude,
play it.
What? That's cool.
It would be
I
highly
need
situational.
I
but
need
it could
Ian to
definitely
give
be useful.
a stronger one. Like it sounds like he's not giving it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ela. You have nothing to say. It's not brutal.
Hold on. He says, Ela, you have nothing to say. Says the guy who's like, I need my wife to literally talk for me in every situation because I'm such an insecure, cucked fucking loser that I'm incapable. And by the way, it's probably a good idea that she does because I've seen what happens when you go on the camera and articulate your own thoughts. It's not good.
Dude, this is just an absolute humiliation ritual. iDubbbz needs to just stop streaming ASAP and just completely log off the internet. There's just nothing he can do here. All he's doing here is basically just giving Ethan unlimited content. And I mean, he can't really complain that Ethan is reacting to this video because, iDubbbz is specifically reacting to Ethan here as well. So this is basically just responding back and forth, right? So obviously you're gonna get some flack for that. But yeah, you're just not winning at all. I don't even know what the point of this is. Maybe to appease his god Hasan, because clearly he wants to be exactly like him now. Be the white version of Hasan, whatever the fuck that means. But I assure you, Hasan does not give a shit. You are not making an impact by beefing Ethan here. I don't know what you expect him to do. He's not going to acknowledge you. You're done. He used you for the content cop, and now you've been thrown away. You've been used and abused, all right? You gotta leave now, all right? Understand, cut your losses, move on. In fact, I don't even know if Hasan even talks to iDubbbz anymore, because he probably just sees these clips of you saying you want to be the new white Hasan and probably dies laughing. Like, if somebody did this, they want to be like the white Pegasus or something, I would just be like, this is so fucking cringe, and I would lose respect for you. It would just be annoying. It would sound incredibly cocked or whatever. So yeah, you're not appeasing Hasan here. You're not boosting his ego. It's already to the fucking moon here. So yeah, I don't know why you're even doing this. Right, so then he calls Ethan anti-Semitic for making jokes. I just don't know how they do this, because somehow Hasan and iDubbbz are the ones calling Ethan anti-Semitic, the Jew.
Same.
Another part of the H3 shit is that soundboard. That extremely anti-Semitic soundboard.
What?
that they pop open with every now and again. I think they had Moist Critical saying some like out of context shit.
You can't do that.
How dare you?
You guys, you can't make jokes like that on your soundboard.
But he's not lying though. That soundboard has a swastika sword on its wall.
Right.
Jokes are not allowed anymore. I'm the new, empathetic, stoic iDubbbz here. I don't joke anymore. No soundboards, no humor. Be like me, a lobotomized absolute freak, devoid of any humor, and anytime you try to be funny, it's immediately met with, yeah, this isn't very nice. Like, dude, you're so fucking lame, dude. Dude, you built your fan base of being like this funny, edgy guy, and now you've just done the complete opposite. Obviously, people are just gonna leave you. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if he was woke, if he was just funny. Like, he's just not funny anymore. So now, you'd think that he finally learned that the content cop was a mistake after all of this backlash, literally going broke. But nah, apparently he quintuples down here, and he justifies his video with Hasan saying that, I believe in him.
Harassment campaign. So yes, of course, I'm gonna go to Hasan's and I'm gonna have all these people in my video because I believe in them and they didn't deserve the harassment that Ethan sent their way consistently. Like a lot of people who hate Hasan, maybe hate Frogan, and it's like, fuck those people. I don't care about those people. Like, that is not the message of this video. The message is, these people are getting harassed. I'm going to go make an intro with essentially the people that Ethan has been harassing.
I've never talked about this guy, Sean the Black. Why was he there, bro? You still have not. He goes, all these people that Ethan's been harassing. Why did you just invite a fucking random black dude? Like, just be honest, bro. Just be honest. Anyway, that's it.
It is interesting that he had to defend them when there were so many situations that could have arisen where he could have defended someone, but he chose to come out against you.
Yeah.
When like that was like a two-sided thing, if anything. If you ever broke it down, it wasn't just you like punching down.
There's just no way iDubbbz went, I believe in them. That is so incredibly fucking soy, dude. What do you believe in? You believe in Hasan? And also, you're not gonna win this Olympics of sucking off Hasan. There's plenty of people in line. You gotta beat Taylor Lorenz. You gotta beat Dan Clancy. You think these people are just gonna let you cut in line, you know, take their mojo of being the ultimate glizzy gladiators? No iDubbbz. No iDubbbz. Get in fucking line, all right? Also, dude, the incredible levels of soy you have to say, if you hate Hasan, I hate you. Dude, this man has reached a new level of patheticness that I thought was not even possible. Not even the gods could foretell this level of fall off, alright? Even the gods are watching now being like, oh my god, what the hell, bruh? How did he fall this far? Nobody could have predicted this. And the worst part about all of this is, you know he's doing this on his own. Nobody is instructing him to do this. Okay, maybe Anissa, that's like one theory. But there's no shot that Hasan is asking iDubbbz to actually defend him, because, you know, it would just make it 10 times worse, right? I know Hasan is a whack-ass loser, as we've covered in the series, but I don't think he would ever be this completely subservient like iDubbbz is being right now, right? Even if it like furthered his cause, because Hasan is this massive narcissist, and, you know, he at least has an ego, some level of self-respect for himself. But meanwhile, iDubbbz is just a broken fucking little lapdog here, right? So then he explains why he called himself Stoic.
Your people might want to categorize themselves as, because for a lot of people, I'm fine with just saying I'm quiet. I'm quiet. I'm a little quiet guy. Like, I'm fine with that. But it's one of these things, like, I'm hoping to reach more people by using a characteristic that they might want to describe themselves as.
Yeah, but you know,
Stoic is
you ever heard of Show Don't Tell?
That's a much...
Have you ever heard of Show Don't Tell? That's what they say. Good authors show. They don't tell. This motherfucker's like, if I tell you I'm stoic, then you'll believe me, despite the fact that I cry and shit and piss and complain about every stupid little thing that comes up in my life. Bro, you are a baby.
But
Jesus.
also,
You gotta let that stoic word go, man.
Does he not understand the definition of it?
I don't-
Because he's acting like Stoic is just quiet.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think he understands the definition of it.
No, he definitely doesn't. He definitely thinks that stoic literally means quiet or something, when that's not even close to the actual definition. Now, the thing is, he is actually right about one thing. A lot of people do want to be stoic. A lot of men want to sort of embody that value, because it's a good thing to sort of strive towards. It's a good guiding principle in life as well, stoicism in general. But here's where he's wrong. All right, we don't look to iDubbbz for an example of stoicism. All right, this is like pretty much the exact opposite example. In fact, iDubbbz is pretty much the perfect example of what you should not do. He is the perfect example of a man that you never want to become, no matter what circumstances you're actually in. All right, because he does, you know, check all the boxes. He let an OnlyFans girl ruin his entire life, you know, guide all of his decisions, change his entire philosophy, his core values. He backstabbed his own best friend for clout from the whole woke squad, you know, tried to secretly take money from a charity event as well. Now he's being cucked by Hasan. It's just embarrassing. A total and utter defeat. Right, so then iDubbbz says that he had to say stoic because it's nicer to say that to men. So he's basically trying to say that he had so much empathy for the men that he was talking down to that he didn't want to use like a word that was too offensive.
I would describe him as cowardly, shallow,
A whiny little
whiny, bitchish.
Nicer thing to say to like the average man than saying, oh, your husband's a little quiet guy, isn't he? He's quiet. Like, you know, that's like for someone who converses and is social regularly, like this is a very obvious thing. I ain't trying to like
He's social, guys.
What is
pad
he
my ego or
saying?
whatever. Like, you can call me a little quiet guy.
It sounds like you have a problem with it, the way you're saying it.
You're
But
absolutely
like
right.
I'm not. Nobody cares that you're quiet. Your insecurity and your introversion has been hijacked by a fucking nefarious monster.
Yeah, so iDubbbz goes, I'm very social and converse regularly, guys. I take part in human conversations. This is like aliens in 2050 trying to pretend that they're human. Like, I'm a social being, actually. I also eat the bread. You know, I speak the English. Dear Lord, what has he become? You know, every time I think that, okay, this time he's definitely hit rock bottom. He somehow sinks deeper. He somehow keeps digging deeper. He's beyond the core at this point. He's about to come out at the other end of the earth. Also, if I'm not wrong, he was trying to patronize men there. So he's basically saying that most men can't handle being called quiet because it's offensive to them. So he had to switch it up and make sure they don't get offended by wording that he called himself. So that's why he said the word stoic, so more people would understand that he's not trying to degrade himself. iDubbbz, we did not give a single shit. Like, honestly, holy shit, you can call yourself whatever the hell. It's just funny to us. We don't care. You can call men whatever the hell you want. Nobody's taking your opinion seriously anyways, all right? And him acting like he's like the full-grown one, he has to make sure the men in the audience don't get offended. Buddy, like, aren't you the one saying that, oh, all these people are these massive edgelords, you know, they don't have any boundaries, or they don't have any sense of like care for other people? You think they're actually going to be offended if you call them quiet, dude? But I will say, an insult from iDubbbz is basically the ultimate compliment. It's like, some people, you just don't want them speaking positively about you, or it's gonna throw off a bunch of red flags. Like, for example, if Hasan ever started glazing me, I would immediately know I'm doing something terribly wrong. I would immediately know, oh shit, I messed up, right? Right, so this next part, basically when iDubbbz was doing his whole response video to commentary channels, he called the guy from Kino Casino fat, right? And he was obviously trying to say it as an insult, and now he's trying to backtrack saying that, no, I would never call somebody fat as an insult. I'm too woke and nice for that. Yeah, nobody's buying that shit.
Has no like moral center. They don't know when it would be okay to describe someone as fat, or
When would it be okay to describe someone as
mention
fat?
work
What?
or any of these things. They don't understand where it comes from and where these principled views come from.
It's not
I was
nuanced,
describing a guy and his fat cohort. It's not an insult. He's fat. You
There's
understand that it
Hold
might
on.
be a little less
There's no
woke.
other ways you could reference the guy. He has
What?
blonde hair. He has glasses. He's wearing a silly outfit. Like, you have to point out that he's fat. That's the only way you could point him out. Okay, Ian.
It's not an insult, guys. I just called him fat in an empathetic and woke way, right? I could never insult somebody like that. I'm just too above that. You know, I'm too kind and caring and stoic and empathetic. Dude, come on. Nobody is actually buying the shit. Just admit that you were trying to make fun of him. Like, you don't have the moral high ground here. Like, when I call Froggen, you know, atomically abundant, gravitationally dense, or giganormous Rex or something like that, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm trying to be nice, all right? I'm not gonna try to pretend like I'm trying to be some saint here. I'm obviously trying to make fun of her, all right? I'm gonna admit it. Sometimes I'm a dickhead, all right? Is what it is. I think it's all in good fun because, you know, she's also made fun of people like that. So I feel like it's fair game. And, you know, if somebody makes fun of me like that, I'm fine, all right? I dish it out. I should be able to take it. But iDubbbz here is saying that, oh no, I'm just so much above this. Like, at least admit it, buddy. You were calling him fat because you didn't like him and he made fun of you. Also, I just find it hilarious where these people actually draw their moral lines, right? So we have Hasan, who supports terrorists, who goes, XQC gambling, that is so bad, but I will support terrorists, right? It just makes no sense. And then we have iDubbbz here, taking money from charity, backstabbing his best friend, supporting the CPS call on Ethan's kids, and then calling someone fat? That is way too too extreme. I would never do that. Stop lying to yourself for once in your goddamn life, dude. It's embarrassing. Moving on to iDubbbz talking about how he doesn't actually want to beef with Ethan's crew. And Anissa steps in the stream chat going, actually, we hate them. Actually, iDubbbz, you can't like these people. You have to hate them. And yeah, basically trying to speak over him again.
That's why I was, being sympathetic to the employees when I put out the content cop originally, as I was like, I don't want to, necessarily rope them into this. But as things progress, as things get more fucking...
Okay, now Anissa...
video have like a whole section about it?
Mama.
Yeah, didn't he say F the crew?
No. Not in the original.
In response to Ian saying, I didn't want to rope the crew, and she says, I'm different than Ian with this one. Little old Anissa, oh, I'm just a small being. Why is everybody making fun of me? She's like, no, I fucking hate the crew, and I've been lobbying to shit on them the whole time.
That's my point. And again, it's just like, Anissa, like, we've all defended you for so long.
Yeah.
Like, you more than it, and of course, it's not right, all the shit you get, but you more than anyone should know, like, you always say that Ian made the video. Okay, that's your husband, for one. Ethan is our boss. Even if you have a beef with our boss, like, what are you talking about? I'm not making this isn't my fucking calling out of you and Ian.
It's
you
even
guys
dumber than
did
that.
that first, saying F the crew. Like, I don't understand. I really don't.
Anissa
Just tell me to
has
shut up
always
again.
been very eager to accept her credit, her kudos, her flowers for her participation in his videos. So like suddenly she's like, I got nothing to do with nobody. It's like,
Dude, Anissa is really like the devil in iDubbbz's ear, and she's just basically there sitting on his shoulder, whispering those evil thoughts there. And iDubbbz, eventually, the poor guy, no backbone, no spine, he eventually just caves in and listens to whatever she says. And I feel like iDubbbz just doesn't have any thoughts of his own anymore. It's basically whatever Anissa's told him, Hasan has told him, or any number of people just combined together. And he's just like this amorphous blob of wokeness, right? And I love how you can see like elements of iDubbbz trying to come back being like, oh no, I actually like the crew, guys. And then Anissa immediately, no, Ian, we hate them. We hate all of them. Come to the dark side right now, or I'm sleeping with Hasan. Okay, maybe she didn't say that, but we can infer that, right? Oh my god, I pieced it together while theory crafting. That's why he wants to turn into the white Hasan, because Anissa wants to sleep with Hasan. Obviously, that is our leading theory here. So imagine that's actually the case. Anissa just goes, I like Hasan. He's so cool. And she always talks about him all the time, yapping on about how he's, the Taylor Lorenz spiel of like, oh my god, he's just amazing in every way. And iDubbbz, obviously hearing this all day, every day, he feels so insecure. Maybe he wants to actually turn into him, and that's why he said that. Okay, that's my theory, all right? I wouldn't even doubt that. I feel like that would be very close to the truth, actually, because Anissa does really seem to like the guy. They both seem to have gotten their philosophy from Hasan. And this is why I'm saying Hasan is the root of all these problems, all right? I feel like iDubbbz would have been completely sane if you just didn't watch Hasan, or if Anissa didn't watch Hasan, right? And that's why Hasan is leading the series, obviously, because this scumbag needs to be stopped. Look at what he turned a good guy into. He turned an actual awesome commentary YouTuber into this sack of shit right here. Oh my god. Okay, so then Harley asks Ethan if he'll ever forgive iDubbbz, right? Hypothetically, if iDubbbz in an alternate universe said sorry, he changed his ways completely, would Ethan forgive him?
Would you talk to him again? Would you make up, bury the hatchet?
I will spend the rest of my life shitting on everything he does.
Even if he said sorry?
Sorry?
The thing is that I don't think he would though. That's the thing. Like the way we've seen him, we've seen him talk about stuff. Like when he was asked about the skulls, if that's really a death threat, and he said no, I don't think so. I think it was humorous.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't think we'll ever find a common ground.
I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous.
That was messed up. But then he didn't think. What was the other thing? Yoda told me.
Oh, and then the other thing was him excusing CPS being called by saying that like, oh.
Yeah, no, they were right to call CPS.
And it could have been your own fans, and it's like, no, like you're actually delusional. So.
Okay, I think Ela is completely right here. It's probably never going to happen, but if in some alternate universe, iDubbbz did like this complete 180 and he turned based again, right? He stopped being a Hasan Glazer, a Hasan Glizzy Gladiator. There's only one thing that would actually make me forgive iDubbbz for everything he's done, the charity, the CPS, the Ethan backstabbing, everything forgiven, if he made a content cop, a legitimately good content cop on Hasan. Obviously, that would be cinema. That would be a plot twist not even I could have predicted. All right, that would be cinema. And if it's actually good enough, I might actually forgive him. All right, because that would be so much good content. I would be filled. I would be filled for a very long time. I would be gobsmacked. Right? But that's probably not going to happen, I imagine, because he's completely pucked. All right. I mean, am I wrong? He literally wants to be the white Hasan. You cannot be more pucked than that. All right. And I thought he already was at a different level of pucking, but this is beyond anything, buddy. Even Destiny's proud of you. Now, Harley tells a story about how he thought iDubbbz was actually joking when he told him about the content cop.
What he did do to me wasn't bad enough.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. So yes, I think he's a bad person. Genuinely, I don't like the guy, but I don't hate him.
Right.
So yeah, what he did for you was like, that was very backstabby. And it's like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I feel like he's brainwashed in a way, but like, I do think he got caught up in that camp and was like, oh yeah. And I think he was hearing a lot of things. I was like, yeah, I should do that video. I should do this thing. And because when he was talking to me about it on the camping trip, like he didn't have like any questions about it. He was just like, oh, I'm doing this. It's going to be on Ethan. He was like excited about it. And it just didn't make any sense to me.
Snark brain.
Like, well, Lena is in the match and AB's like here all the time. And like, you're friends with Ethan.
Yeah.
Snark brain.
I really, really thought it was a fake bit. And he was like putting all of us on so no one would know the truth. You know, it's like an Andy Kaufman thing.
Honestly, that would have made a lot more sense.
We're still hoping for him to drop the act and say,
what a long-term performance art.
One day he's just gonna be like aristocrats.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely entered a different timeline when iDubbbz dropped that initial content cop, and I'm kind of grateful to iDubbbz that it happened because without him, this series would have never have been born. Episode 1 of the series was iDubbbz's content cop, so thank you, iDubbbz. You've truly made my life very great, and all the viewers here, we love this amount of cinema. And here we are, 100 episodes, still going strong. So then Ethan calls out Hasan for apparently promoting a lot of TikToks, like lying about him, promoting conspiracies about him.
That I can't let it go with Hasan. I've honestly barely talked about him ever since the Charlie Kirk thing happened.
You can talk about him as much as you want.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I've kind of made the conscious decision to lay off a little bit because things got so fucking heated.
Yeah. It's just like
if you go to
talk about everything.
If you go to his TikTok reshares,
oh god,
hundreds of the most insane Ethan psychotic conspiracy hate videos, nonstop. I would be fucking humiliated to have that be on my reshares. To be like, he says I'm trying to get him killed. He's doing all this types of shit. He's on Twitter. He's sharing shit on TikTok. This whole narrative of it like being some one-sided obsession is crazy.
Meanwhile, he's the one bringing me up as a valid military target.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't want anyone to harm Hasan or anybody in his life or anybody.
He brought me up in that conversation for no reason. I wasn't even related to the topic.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
But then what? If I respond, then I'm obsessed? No, of course I'm going to talk about it.
Well, I haven't even been responding. That's the crazy part. I've just been kind of letting it all slide for now.
Okay, so you're telling me Hasan is active on TikTok. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That would explain the sheer amount of brain rot that is infesting that guy. But yeah, honestly, I don't think Ethan should ever feel bad for talking about Hasan because honestly, he does it all the time. He hasn't stopped one bit. He hasn't stopped going after Ethan and all these other people, and he hasn't toned down a little bit even after the Charlie Kirk assassination. If anything, he went 10 times harder. There needs to be people that call out his bullshit, debunk his propaganda, propaganda. So I think we're actually doing a good thing. I think we're legitimately, changing lives here. All right. It's like a good versus evil sort of fight. Now, obviously, I don't want anything bad to happen to Hasan. I just want the proper channels to be employed, get the ban on Twitch based on the TOS, and law enforcement should probably investigate him and see if they find anything suspicious. Now, click this video for a glass of nutritious milk. Yum, yum, yum. Drink up. Glug, glug, glug. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.